What's up, guys? This is your boy RG Maddow with the second installment of our newest weekly series, Subscriber Friday. Now, this is like I said in the last vid. None of these battles will be mine, White's, Aces, or Specs' battles. In fact, this battle comes from one of my good friends. She's a great battler. Her name is PSS Latios. She's really good. So why don't we get started? Her opponent leads off with Polytoad. She leads off with Tyranitar. Tyranitar is going to get toxic by the Polytoad while she sets up Stealth Rocks. Now the Polytoad decides to switch out into Jirachi, while the Tyranitar decides to switch out into Ferrothorn. Now, as her opponent switches out into Gliscor, she decides to double switch into Latios, which is very interesting because Gliscor will be taken out by Latios anytime. The opponent knows that, so he goes straight for Protect while Latios goes for Surf. Gliscor switches out, sends in the Toxic Croak, which is really good play on her opponent's part because of the Dry Skin ability. Now, since she is Choice, she's have to switch out into her Scissor while he double switches back into Jirachi. Now, the Jirachi uses Wish while the Scizor uses U-Turn to switch out of there and go into Landorus, who I'm assuming is packing HP Fire, maybe HP Ice, I don't know. Anyway, she decides to U-Turn on the incoming switch, brings back in the Scizor, odds are U-Turn again. Now her opponent knows this, so she's going to have to switch out into Polytoad as her. However, Latios calls this, goes straight for the Bullet Punch and gets a crit, which is nice. Now she stays and goes for Bullet Punch one more time, gets another crit and knocks out the Toxic Croak, which is too bad, but hey, that's the game. Now her opponent sends back out Gliscor to U-turn out on an incoming switch. She calls this, goes to Ferrothorn for Iron Barbs to activate. Her opponent sends out Jirachi, hits the Ferrothorn with the Thunder, but it's resisted. However, the Ferrothorn does get paralyzed and can't move this turn, which really sucks. But oh well, if anything has to get paralyzed on their team, he's better be glad it's Ferrothorn. Now the Jirachi decides to set up Stealth Rocks as Latios comes in. Now the Latios hits the Jirachi with HP Fire. However, because the rain is up, it does nothing. Now she's forced to switch and see his choice, and Jirachi goes for a head smash on the incoming switch. However, Jirachi decides to stay in while Landorus goes to Earthquake and scores the kill. Now her Landorus switches out into Ferrothorn, afraid of the Polytoad. The Ferrothorn takes the Surf really, really well. Now the Polytoad's forced to switch. Her opponent goes into Fortress while Latios decides to set up the Leech Seed on the incoming Fortress. Now she switches out into Tyranitar. Odds are because she packs the Fire Blast and to try to get Sandstorm up. The Fortress rapid spins the Stealth Rocks away, and now Tyranitar hits the Fortress with Fire Blast to score the third kill of the game. It's a 6-3. So far, it's really good. Now her opponent decides to send out Polytoad to get the rain back up, as she sends in Scizor to take the Surf. However, her opponent's afraid of Bullet Punch, so she's forced into going to Scizor to take that Bullet Punch. A Scizor protects as Latios goes for another Bullet Punch. She's trying to get as much damage on that Gliscor as possible. She sees this isn't going to work, so she's going to switch out into her Landorus to be immune to that incoming Earthquake. Now her Landorus does pack HP Ice. Yep, most likely HP Ice. Thorn is why to send it in. So she goes forward. However, he protects him. She U-turns out, expecting him to switch. However, he doesn't. Instead, Gliscor U-turns itself out, expecting a U-turn. Now Latios used a Surf on the Polytoad. Polytoad at that point was Death Fodder to send in his own Latios. However, Latios goes back in Tyranitar to get the Sandstorm up, and luckily for her, her opponent does go for the Psychic Kick and she gets a free switch. Because of that, she's able to hit the Latios with an Ice Beam, even though the next Surf will take out the Tyranitar, as you see right here. Makes the score 5-2. Now she sends back out her Latios. She goes for Surf to knock out the Latios. So now it's Gliscor versus the Surf Latios. Odds are Choice Spec. The Gliscor goes for Protect, trying to Sandstorm stall out the Latios. However, the Latios has one more turn. And now, the Gliscor is able to get a double Protect, which saved its butt. However, those efforts were futile because in comes Landorus, and after 2 Protects, you can't go for another one. And Hidden Power takes out the Gliscor one hit. That's a quick 4-0 victory for my girl, PSS Latios against Random. It's a great battle. As I said before, she's really good. There might be more videos coming from her in the future in Sub Friday. The rest of y'all gotta step up your game. So far, Latios is #1. Yo, RG Maddow, and I'll see y'all later.